What up, YouTube? Team Movies here. Now, here is my top 10 favorite movies of 2012. Because this month I'm going to be talking about the, movies of the decade, and, I just did best movies of 2010, best, movies of 2011. Now it's a films of 2012 turn, and, there was some pretty, there was some pretty great movies that got released in the year of 2012. Whether it's blockbusters, indie darlings, etc. So with that being said, here are my top 10 favorite movies of 2012. All right, and thankfully, the world didn't end in 2012. You guys remember that whole rumor about that the world was supposed to end in 2012? Well, that never happened. Anyway, all right, coming in at number 10, it is Hitchcock. Now, the movie stars Anthony Hopkins as famed Hollywood director Alfred Hitchcock, and it is a movie about the making of arguably one of his best work of all time, Psycho. And you've got Helen Mirren who played his Mirren of course played his on-screen wife here. You also had Scarlett Johansson, who did a really wonderful job at playing Janet Leigh. You had Jessica Biel was also in this, Toni Collette, Micah Stuhlbarg, Ralph Macchio was in this film. Yeah, some really great cast members. I mean, Anthony Hopkins was born to play the role of Alfred Hitchcock. I mean, his persona as the role of Hitchcock was spot on. And how did he not get an Oscar nomination for this movie is still beyond me, but yeah, if you guys haven't seen Hitchcock yet, it's a really terrific film. Alright, coming in at number 9, it is Wes Anderson's film, Moonrise Kingdom. Now, the film takes place in 1965, and it's about the residents of a small island off the coast of New England, and it's about this 12-year-old named these two 12-year-old kids named Sam, played by Jared Gilman, and Susie, played by Kara Hayward, who end up falling for each other, and they decide to run away, away from the adults. And so, the adults, they're all mobilize a search party to find the youths before the calamity strikes and all. And besides the two young actors, you also had people like Jason Schwartzman, Tilda Swinton, Frances McDormand, Bill Murray, Ed Norton, Bruce Willis in a very different role, by the way. It was a bit odd to see Bruce Willis play a very quirky role like this, and he was actually really solid here. I mean, see what happens when Bruce Willis actually tries and all. But yeah, Moonrise Kingdom it's your typical Wes Anderson film. It is a quirky flick. It does have some really great performances by Murray, by McDormand. I mean, yes, some really great performances. If you guys never seen Moonrise Kingdom, to me it's probably one of Anderson's best movies of the decade. In recent years, he of course gave us Isles of Dogs, Grand Budapest Hotel, but Moonrise Kingdom, on the other hand, is such a delight. Alright, coming in at number 8, it is Chronica. Now, it stars, Dane DeHaan, who plays this awkward teen named Andrew, who him and his cousin Matt, played by Alex Russell, and their popular classmate named Steve, played by Michael B. Jordan, discover this mysterious substance that leaves them with incredible powers. And Chronica was directed. Let me just say up front, it was directed by Josh Trank, who after years, of course, after Chronica, he followed this movie off with the infamous Fantastic Four film. This movie is the reason why I was very disappointed how poorly that Fantastic Four film turned out. Because Chronicle was such a really delight. It was, one of the most original, superhero films I've seen. But man, and the direction was really great. So when Chronica got released, I was actually excited for Josh Trank's Fantastic Four. But yeah, his Fantastic Four did not turn out that great. But that aside, I still really got a kick out of Chronica. You know, it was a movie that Mike B. Jordan has been doing movies before Chronica, like he did Friday Night Lights beforehand. He did I believe he did The Wire if I'm not mistaken. He's done other stuff before Chronica, but it was really Chronica, I guess you could say, that really put Jordan on the map. Although his major breakout role was definitely Fruitvale Station, but this was actually the movie that really put Jordan on the map for a lot of other people. And actually, I've seen Jordan and stuff before Chronica, but this was also the movie that actually kind of introduced me to Mike B. Jordan and how cool that guy could be. And the effects was cool. And this movie, and this and another found footage movie that got released the same year, Project X, these two also proved one thing, that you don't, like, found footage don't have to be only just horror films. Because when Chronicle got released, I was like, oh, really, another found footage film? Because lately we've mainly been getting like a found footage horror flicks. But then here comes a different take on the found footage genre, and man, what Josh Trank was able to do with this movie was just magnificent. Like yeah, if you guys never really seen a Chronicle by now, do yourself a favor, give it a go, and come on, Fox, go ahead and give us a sequel already. Hey, coming in at number 7, it is The Perks of Being a Wallflower. Now, this movie is based on a YA novel. It stars Logan Lerman, who plays a socially awkward. Anyway, yeah, he plays this socially awkward high schooler named Charlie, who is a wallflower, but he's always watching from the sideline. But these two charismatic students end up becoming his mentor. Like, you've got Emma Watson, who plays the spirit, the free spirit, Sam, while Ezra Miller plays Sam's stepbrother, who helped Charlie discover the joy of friendship, first love, music, and art. And you also have Charlie's he also has a friendship with his teacher, played wonderfully by Paul Rudd. And you also have some other people in this, like you got Mia Whitman, Johnny Simmons, Kate Walsh, Dylan McDermott. You also had Joe Cusack. Some really, some really cool cast members on this. And
Yep.
and this movie is a really it's not really that much of a classic yet, but down the line it will be considered a classic coming of age tale. I mean, this has a bit of a John Hughes feel to it if you look at it. Like, this was actually the movie that really put Logan Lerman on the map for most people. It also showed how great Emma Watson could be outside of the Harry Potter franchise. And Ezra Miller, I mean, he was great. Yeah, this movie was really charming. It was really cute. I mean, if you guys haven't seen The Perks of Being a Wallflower yet, definitely go check it out. Really terrific film. Alright, coming in at number 6, it is End the Watch. Now, this movie was this film was directed by David Ayer, who also gave us Suicide Squad, but unlike Josh Trank with Fantastic Four, I actually quite like Suicide Squad. I mean, soon before I care. But End the Watch, I guess you could say it was also a bit like a found footage film. Like, I actually call this movie a big screen version of Cops, because that's what it really felt like. It had a bit of a feel of the TV show Cops in a way. And it stars Jake Gyllenhaal and Michael Pena, who plays these LAPD partners and best friends. You got Jake Gyllenhaal, who plays Brian Taylor, and Pena plays Mike Zavalia, who ends up patrolling one of the most dangerous neighborhood in LA. And so Taylor and Navala have always, had each other's back, even if like Taylor's filming of their daily activities for a college course is sort of a bit of a ill advertising on. But sooner more hell breaks ends up breaking loose for the officers when they ends up running where they end up having a run with these vicious Mexican drug cartels, and they end up coming on their trails. You also had Anna Kendrick, America Ferrera was also in this, Frank Grillo, David Harbour. I mean, some really cool players. And to watch, it's a really awesome film. I mean, Jake Gyllenhaal and Michael Pena. It's a shame that they haven't done a movie together yet. Like those two were really great in to watch this. And the movie was really the movie had lots of heart, more than you expect from a gritty cop film. This is probably one of the best cop movies you'll watch in a decade. Yeah, I mean, there are some dirty cops in this. There is a cartel, like drug cartels here. Really terrific film. If you guys haven't really seen End of Watch, definitely go check End of Watch out. And I still don't know why we haven't got a sequel to this. I mean, the movie made some pretty good dough. Shame we haven't got a sequel yet. Alright, coming in at number 5, it is maybe my favorite anime movie of that year, and that is Wreck-It Ralph. Now, Wreck-It Ralph is a Disney film, and it features the voice of John C. Reilly, who plays the Tyro of Wreck-It Ralph, who ends up being tired of being the bad guy and also losing his good guy opponent, and so he decides to try to become a good guy, and so he ends up setting off on a game hopping trip to prove that he has what it takes to be a hero. And you also got Jack McBrayer voicing the role of Fix It Feel It. You also got Jane Lynch. Some really cool cameos from game characters on this, like Sonic the Hedgehog. There's a character from Street Fighter's in this. I mean, you got Cupid in this. I mean, it's really great. Now this movie sadly did not win Best Anime Feature at the Oscars. It ended up losing against Brave, which I don't. I mean, I don't hate Brave or anything, but Wreck-It Ralph is still a better movie. So how on earth did Wreck-It Ralph win over Brave? It's still beyond me. But and also, not to mention, you got Sarah Silverman, who of course voiced the character of Penelope, who it's pretty much like a Disney princess, if you want to look at it that way. And Penelope and Ralph has a really great bond in this movie, and it's really terrific. I mean, if you guys, Wreck-It Ralph is definitely one of the best anime movies that got released of this past decade. And Ralph Breaks the Internet, the sequel that got released this recently, that's not how bad either. But the first Wreck-It Ralph is terrific. Definitely go check it out if you guys haven't seen that. Alright. Coming in at number 4, it's probably my favorite comedy of that year, and that goes to Ted. Now, Ted is... Now, anyway,
Bye, hi.
Anyway, yeah, Ted is directed by Seth MacFarlane, who this was actually his directorial debut outside of Family Guy, and Ted it's definitely one of the funniest films that got released in this decade. I mean, when you think of a movie about a guy who ends up being friends with a foul mouth teddy bear that he knew for like since childhood, that sounds a bit of a dumb premise. But what Seth MacFarlane was able to do with Ted was hilarious. I mean, come on, Ted is a very Ted is a stoner character. Ted gets into lots of crazy mess, and you of course got Mark Wahlberg, who plays his best friend here, John. You also got Mila Kunis was also in this. Joe McHale. You even had funny cameos by Sam Jones. Patrick Stewart was also in this. You even had Lois Griffith herself. Alex Borstein was in this. I mean, what not to love about Ted? It is really hilarious, and Ted 2 is also pretty funny too. But the first Ted is hands down so darn awesome. Right. Coming in at number 3, it is Silverline Playbook. Now it stars Bradley Cooper, who plays this young man named Pat Salatano, who ends up losing his job and wife, and he spends time in a mental institution. But he ends up winding up living with his parents, played by Robert De Niro and Jackie Weaver. And he also wants to rebuild his life and reunite with his wife. But his parents will also be happy if he also just like share their obsession with the Philadelphia Eagles. So yeah, the Philadelphia Eagles play a big part in this movie, and actually football period plays a big part. I mean, it's not really a football movie per se, but it has lots of football talk. And Pat also ends up falling for this dancer named Tiffany, played wonderfully by Jennifer Lawrence, who offers to help him reconnect with his wife. And it's really terrific. I mean, it's based on a book. It's directed by David O. Russell. You also had Chris Tucker in this. A bit weird to see Chris Tucker in a movie like this. You even had Julia Stiles was also in this. I mean, Civil Lines Playbook was really, of course, she had Hunger Games beforehand, but and of course, she ended up getting her first Oscar nomination for Winter's Bone. But Civil Lines Playbook was a movie that actually won Jennifer Lawrence her first ever Oscar, and a well-deserving Oscar win too. I mean, she was magnificent in this movie, and her like on-screen chemistry with Bradley Cooper, and obviously those two have worked together a couple times since Civil Lines Playbook. But yeah, Civil Lines Playbook is hands down amazing. I mean, it is a movie about mental illness. It is pretty heartfelt, really terrific film. All right. Alright, now coming in at number 2, it's the film that won the Oscar for Best Picture, and that is Argo. Now, Ben Affleck has directed loads of movies, well, whether it's like, he of course had his directorial debut with Gone Baby Gone, he followed that with The Town, but after The Town, he followed The Town up with something amazing, and that is Argo. Based on a true story, the movie ended up winning Best Picture at the Oscar. Still a bit weird that Ben Affleck didn't get Best Directing or Best Actor, but whatever. And the film takes place in 1979, and it's where like the storm in the U.S. embassy in Tehran, Iran ends up taking 66 American hostage, and so amid the chaos, 6 Americans ends up managing to slip and find refugee with the Canadian ambassador, and so you got Ben Affleck who plays the U.S. who plays attractor Tony Mendes, who ends up being called to the U.S. Government to rescue the Americans being held hostage. And Mendes' plan is to pose as a Hollywood producer scouting location in Iran, and sorry about that. Anyway. And Argo it's terrific. I mean, the movie won Best Picture for a reason. It's an amazing movie. Ben Affleck, I mean, it is his best directing work in my opinion. You also had great performances like Bryan Cranston, John Goodman, Alan Arkin, Victor Garber, Richard Kind, Scoop McNairy, Kyle Chandler. You also had Orange the Black Girl, Taylor Schilling was in this. I mean, it is insane that this movie was based on a true story, but man, what a really insane true story this movie was based on. And like I said, it did one the Ben It actually did win Ben Affleck a screenplay nomination. And George Clooney, of course, was one of the screenwriters as well. Argo it's freaking tastic. I mean, if you guys never seen Argo by now, give it a shot. It's really terrific. Alright. Now, my number one favorite movie of 2012 is literally going. I know this is a bit of a cop out, but it's my favorite movie of 2012, and that is The Avengers. It is one of the most fun time I've ever had at the movies. I mean, just having a chance to see these. Of course, this was way before Endgame, Age of Ultron, and all. But man, just having a chance to see these, these iconic heroes, whether you talk about Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, Hulk, just all standing around like in one film together. Who knew that was ever possible? I mean, that was really awesome to see. And of course, you also had Tom Hiddleston as the main bad guy, Loki. What not to love about the original Avengers? It's fun, entertaining, a great thrill ride. One of the best movie-going experiences I've ever had, along with Endgame. I mean, all the Marvel movies, I've always had great movie-going experiences with them. But the first Avengers, hands down, the movie. From 10 years from now, I believe the Avengers will still hold up. From 10 to 20 years from now, and it's such a great film. I mean, it ended up actually technically introducing us to Thanos because, of course, the credit scene. But yeah, the first Avengers is definitely really awesome. All right, that's pretty much it. Let me do the quick rundown. 10, Hitchcock. 9, Moonrise Kingdom. 8, Chronicles. 7, The Perks of Being a Wallflower. 6, End of Watch. 5, Wreck-It Ralph. 4, Ted. 3, Silver Linings Playbook. 2, Argo. And 1, The Avengers. Now, there's loads of other movies that got released in 2012 that I probably could have also mentioned. Another comic book movie. 2012 had a pretty interesting year for comic book films. There was, of course, Dark Knight Rises, Dread, which is awesome. Amazing Spider-Man got released that year. A few other films like The Master got released. Django Unchained was great. Beast of the Southern Wild, Life of Pi. The Hunger Games ended up having its debut in 2012. Zero Dark Thirty is probably my top 20 of that year. I mean, Zero Dark 30 is great. Let's see, 21 Jump Street, Dark Shadows, Lincoln. Definitely not Cloud Atlas. I'm not really into John Carter, but a lot of people really like John Carter. I mean, I'm a little surprised how many people really like. I'm surprised how many John Carter defenders there are. But hey, those are subjective. Anyway, the first Hobbit film got released in 2012. Rise of the Guardians, The Dictator. Definitely not Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. That movie stunk. That's probably the worst movie of that year. Hotel Transylvania, Jack Reacher, Lawless. The Lorax, Three Stooges. Boy, I could go I could probably have done a top 20 instead. But let me leave you guys. What are some of your favorite movies of 2012? Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. This here is C Movie signing off.